We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you. This morning on the show, we've got the Prescott flag football team in here. Well, not the whole team, just like 3 representatives from them. The studio ain't that big. Anyway, on the show today, we've got Coach Ryan Hart. We've also got 2 of his players, Addlyn Larson and Maggie Maneely. Guys, thanks for being with us here this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so Coach, here it is, year number 2 for Prescott flag football. Year number 1, I think, exceeded everyone's expectations as you guys finished as the state runners-up, and your only loss of the season was in that state championship game. So after a season like that, what you raised the bar so high, where do you go from here now for season 2? I think I kind of know the answer to this one, I guess.
You know what? We had a lot of fun. That's the core of what we did last year, and then the wins kept piling up, and the defense was great. Coach Dupree did an amazing job making sure that we weren't behind very much, if ever, all the way until, against Bradshaw, we were behind for a little while. But for most of the season, we played with just a lot of energy and fun, and we didn't know exactly what we were doing and who was going to play where and how we did it all, but it came together towards the end of the year. But just being a program now and having a summer off-season program and getting back after it and having that chip on our shoulder of, okay, we almost really ran the table all the way to the end. So let's get back to work and marry the process and work hard every day, and that's what these kids have been doing. So we're just happy to be part of the athletic landscape here locally, and we're just excited to get going and give it another shot. We've got a lot of returners.
So, Maggie, looking back at last year, again, the very first season for Prescott flag football, when you look at last year, are you still amazed by just how good this team did in its very first season of flag football?
Yeah, it was insane. I never expected really anything. There were no expectations for the team going into it because all I had done for flag football before the first season was powder puff, and I had never watched flag football. I'd only watched tackle football, so there were really no expectations. And then when we went to the state championship, it was really an eye opener.
And Addie, for yourself, you look back at last year, just how pleasantly surprised, I guess, were you with how far Prescott made it?
I was fairly surprised. I can't say that I was all that surprised just because I feel like our team had a lot of talent and we were all of us had come from other sports, and it was none of us were new to sports. And it was just really cool to see that we could all learn something new and it be able to go to the highest level that we could.
So, Maggie, you go back to last year, everything was new for you girls. So I guess along with having a great season, getting that close to a state championship, it was also a learning experience for everyone out there. Now that you have that year's worth of experience under your belt, what are, I guess, some of the differences now in practice this year, now that this whole thing isn't new to you compared to last year?
Well, it is a lot more competitive in practice, I would say. There's more expectations to do well. But also, everybody should know more than they did last year. They have a year under their belt, so just getting better every day with learning the plays and learning how to work with each other. It's just a lot more expectations on that side.
And Addie, what are some of the big changes you've seen in practice, the way you guys are doing practice this year compared to last year?
We've changed up how we warm up, which is really cool and it's fun, and it makes us feel like a team that was the state runner-up, I feel like, and it's just been great because, like Maggie said, there's been a lot of more expectations, and I would say that we're all a lot more aggressive at practice. Last year we were a little timid. Now we're we know it, we got it, and we just go full.
And, Coach, you were saying along with the regular practice you're doing here in the school year, you've also done a lot of stuff over the summer to get these girls ready for season 2. So talk about some of the summer programs you had for Prescott flag football this year.
Yeah, so we have a lot of talent, just like Addie said, and a lot of returning talent. And for them to have an opportunity to come out a couple times a week during the summer, we did play one tournament also over at Mingus, which was a lot of fun. Shout out to Mingus for holding that tournament for us, where we got to the final of that tournament as well. We had a lot of fun. It only took 11 people. I think 3 or 4 of them were freshmen. So we were bringing in the younger girls to the summer program too. And, once we had the fundamentals, which we've done a lot of, now we're able to have some fun with locking in and taking it to the next level with execution. And that's what the summer program allowed us to do, getting together multiple times over most of the summer, because the tournament was in June, and then we did twice a week all the way into July, and then we even increased it after that. So some may say that we've done a little too much this summer, but we were all so excited to get back on the football field and see what we could do to improve each other and just to keep working. And I think that's how it's kind of come together. So we're grateful to have that off season and to have these 11 seniors that are going to be graduating come back and lead those younger girls into a program that has now been established at some level. It's just really fun to watch and fun to be a part of.
That's what I was going to say next. You talked about how you have a lot of returning experience because you only lost 2 players from last year's team. Granted, they're really, really good players, and Alana Gilray and Delaney Courtney, who, of course, had that memorable pick 6 in the Final Four state game against Coconino. But even with those 2 gone, I mean, how big was it to have pretty much the entire team coming back for this year? You know, again, minus Alana and Delaney.
Yeah, so, I'm kind of low-key dedicating this coming up season to those seniors that came out to really help us get to where we got to last year. But you can't deny these girls that were juniors last year. I mean, the upperclassmen in general coming out for a brand new sport, I just think it's courageous. It's special to get out there and mix it up and bring their talents. And even if their history hasn't been in football, they brought all their talents to do what they could do. So they showed everybody in the country. And now, schools across the nation know who Prescott High School is with flag football now, so it's kind of cool to know that happened. But it would have never happened without this special now senior class that we have, and having them finish strong as best they possibly can is a big goal of mine this season, because they've set a legacy. They started this program essentially, with the help, of course, of the seniors last year, but they've taken us to places that we didn't know we could go, and it was because of their courage and just playing for each other the entire season and bringing what they had to the table.
So, Maggie, after last year's incredible season for Prescott flag football, did you find more of your fellow athletes over at Prescott High School coming up to you and go say, hey, Mags, how do I get in on this flag football thing? Because you guys are looking really good out there, and I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, there were a lot of freshmen that I knew coming into high school that were pretty excited about flag football after we had made it to the state championship. But then there was still a lot of work to do to get people out there, because we were hoping to get a JV this year, and we did. It was successful. So we did a lot of recruiting to get all these freshmen and even sophomores out to flag football. It was good.
And Addie, just your thoughts on how flag football is becoming a lot more popular among the female athletes over at Prescott now after that great season you had last year.
Well, I haven't really talked to the younger classmen at our school a lot, only the ones who have come out to play, and they're like, I'm super excited. But I've talked to some of the girls I know in 8th grade, and a lot of them are like, yeah, I'm thinking about playing flag football. And I'm like, yeah, you should come out and play. And so that'll be cool.
Right.
Take them out.
Also, Addie, after last year, you get to the state championship game. You have a 15-1 season. Now there's a target on your back. So talk about now the pressure that I guess you girls have to have an even better season than last year.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's going to want to be like, we got to beat Prescott. It's our year this year. I mean, we only lost 2 girls, but like you said, they were 2 of our really best players. And so I'm wondering if the other teams are thinking, like, we got them this year. We could do it this year, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, folks, in the studio with me today, I've got Coach Ryan Hart, along with 2 of his players, Maggie Maneely and Addie Larson from the Prescott flag football team. Of course, last year's state runners-up in the 4A conference. They will be starting their season September 15th. And how about this? Their season opener will be against St. Mary's, and that'll be down in the Phoenix area. So it's going to be a rematch of last year's state championship game. All right, we're coming up to a break. But before we go to break, folks, guess what? For the first time in the 2025-2026 season, it is 3 Stars of the Week time, our first 3 Stars of the Week of the season. So let's see who shined over the past 7 days. We're going to start with the ladies. Our number 3 star is actually a Prescott soccer alum. It is Carrie Cassoon, now of the Embry-Riddle soccer team. She scored 3 goals in the Lady Eagles wins over Oregon Tech and Rocky Mountain last Saturday and on Monday. The number 2 star is Talon Bennett of the Yavapai College women's soccer team. She made 8 saves in the Lady Riders' 2-1 win over Laramie County College last Friday. And our number 1 star of the week is Alice Tucci of the Embry-Riddle volleyball team. She posted 37 assists in the Lady Eagles' 3-0 win over Westcliff last Friday. Then on Monday, Tucci was named the GSAC Setter of the Week. Now for the guys, our number 3 star is Gio Puglisi of the Prescott football team. He had 3 touchdown passes in the Badgers' 49-3 rout of Greenway last Friday. The number 2 star is Nitai Bental of the Embry-Riddle soccer team. He had a hat trick in the Eagles' 4-2 victory over Nelson on Wednesday. And our number 1 star of the week is Kenny Miller-Terry of the Prescott football team. KMT had a one-handed touchdown catch and a pick 6 in the Badgers' 49-3 triumph over Greenway last Friday. Congratulations to all our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Roundup. We'll be back with more right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. I've got Coach Ryan Hart from the Prescott Flag football team. Also in the studio with me, 2 of his players, Maggie Maneely and Addie Larson. During the break, we were talking about road trips and how this season the Prescott football team will be traveling to Mojave. And I was talking about, even though it's a long trip, I've never been in that field house they have at Mojave High School. I think it's called the Anderson Field House, which a lot of people I've talked to said is a really, really cool place. And actually, you guys were there last year. And Maggie, I know you were saying it was kind of like a weird environment to play in, actually. So tell us what it was like playing in that field house.
It's interesting because the lights fake you out a little bit, so it almost just feels like you're in a dream. It's really weird playing in that field house. But I think my freshman year was hardest for me, and then I think it's gotten easier the more I go. But yeah, for sure it's a weird environment, but it's cool.
Yeah, because you've actually played not just for flag football, but you've also been there for soccer too, right?
Yeah.
And Addie, what about your experiences there at the field house?
It's kind of the same. It just kind of feels like I feel like it almost kind of helps me focus on the game more because I'm not thinking you walk in there and it's just everything else is gone. It's really cool.
And Coach, you guys get to go back to the field house this year too, huh?
Yep, we're ready to make the long trip and go up there and hopefully perform well again. We have a really funny memory there where our quarterback actually got her pants pulled down inadvertently, so everybody laughs about that. And people that were watching at home on TV, they saw the entire Prescott team fall on the ground, and it looked like they were all sick or something, but everybody was just laughing so hard at what had happened. So it's a fun trip. It's a fun time to be up there, and it was a fun team to play too.
Good. And actually, you're going to be real road warriors this year because along with Mojave, you're also going to Lee Williams. In fact, that's going to be the regular season finale on November 3rd, and you've also got a trip up to Monument Valley coming up in a few weeks. So you're going to be logging some serious miles this year, huh?
Yeah, we are. I don't think our athletes are any strangers to these long road trips. They've all been doing this for a long time. So we'll be prepared. It adds a little level of complexity and difficulty to get up there and be ready to go. But we're going to embrace it and have a lot of fun just like we always do.
Okay. And, well, let's get to know the Prescott Flag football team a little bit more. Let's do a lightning round, which I did not brief Maggie and Addie on. Now they're going, oh, geez, what did we sign up for here today? Maggie, I'm starting with you here. Who on the Prescott Flag football team would you say is the best-dressed player on the team? Who is the team fashion plate?
I'd probably say Marley Van Wormer.
Okay. Addie, who would you say is probably the funniest player on Prescott? The one girl that just keeps you guys laughing.
I'd have to say Olivia Raber, probably. She's always saying something goofy.
Okay. Now, Maggie, opposite end. Who is the most serious player on Prescott?
I don't know. Maybe,
Got to think about that one.
Yeah. Maybe Rihanna.
Oh, Rihanna Aguilar, your quarterback?
She's pretty serious.
Okay. Addie, who would you say is probably the most talkative player on the team? The player who, if I interviewed him, I'd just be like, will you shut up already? I got places to be, okay?
I don't know. maybe Lucy Zempic. I feel like she talks a lot. I don't know.
Okay. Maggie, opposite end. Who is the quietest player on Prescott?
I think probably Hallie. Yeah, she's pretty quiet.
Okay. Finally, Addie, who on Prescott can eat the most in one sitting?
Oh my. I feel like a lot of us
Oh,
could.
boy. So basically, you just clean out the buffet restaurants, huh?
Yeah, team dinner nights. I'm sorry for those parents because we come back for like 2-3 plates.
What do you mean the food's all run out? So no one can top that list, or what?
Not that I can think of. Maybe I'll have to let you know in a little bit after we have a couple team dinners.
Maggie, anyone come to mind for you, or what?
Not like nobody really sticks out, I don't think.
Coach, how about you? Can you save it here?
They're all excellent eaters. I don't have anything. We focus on nutrition. They put a lot of energy into what they do. So energy in, energy out.
Oh, so,
big time.
So basically, if there's like a big box of pizzas, just stay away from it because they'll just pounce on it, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nobody's shy about getting food and staying nourished.
Okay. All right. Well, Addie, we were talking about, of course, last year's state championship game with St. Mary's, and along with the loss, you had an unfortunate experience in there. You had a knee injury that actually kept you out of the soccer season. And, of course, soccer, they were also the state runners-up last year. So give us an update. How's the knee doing now?
It's doing really good. I'm hoping to be back cleared in the next couple of weeks, and I still have to go and talk to my surgeon and all these things, but it's doing really good, and I'm feeling like it's very strong now, or maybe not very strong, but it's doing really good, and I'm feeling confident with it, and it's been very nice to be able to do stuff again.
So how did that injury happen there at the state championship game?
So it was in the last 3 minutes of the game, I think, which was that really was sad, but I was chasing down a girl with the ball, and I was chasing her down. We were on defense, and I think I didn't really get hit. I think I just kind of hyperextended and landed wrong, and it just snapped, and I got the flag though, so that was good.
Basically sacrificing the body to get that flag.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm glad everything's going well with your knee, and certainly we're all looking forward to seeing you back out there on the field. And Maggie, well, along with the great season you had last year for Prescott Flag Football, 22 interceptions, which I'm pretty much sure, if I remember right, that leads pretty much to everyone in the state in that category. But you also had one heck of a summer, too, with flag football. First, you were at an all-star camp in California. So talk about what that experience was like for you.
Yeah, it was really cool. All the coaches were really great. It was a great opportunity to be able to be invited out to that. And it was in the Olympic Training Center in California, so I got a little vacation out of it too. But it was a really cool experience. There were a lot of very talented flag football players out there. And it really showed me that there's a lot more to work up to than what I've already done. So I think it was a really good opportunity to be able to go out there and just compete against a lot of these talented people.
And, of course, that wasn't the only, all-star event that you took part in. Arizona Cardinals actually had an all-star event down at State Farm Stadium, I believe, a month or so ago, and you were part of that. So tell us what that was like.
Yeah, that was really amazing. That was probably one of the coolest things I think I've done. They had a media day prior to the actual game, and that was really cool. They were very well organized, and that was impressive. I really noticed that. And then going to play that game, it was so interesting because the build-up before the halftime, I was so nervous, and it was hard to watch the game. I just couldn't stop thinking about the halftime. And I got down to the field, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. Just staring up at the crowd, it was so cool. I don't even think I did that great in the game, but it's all right. It was so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it did take place at halftime during one of the Cardinals' exhibition games, right? Yeah. And going back over a year ago, could you ever have imagined yourself in situations like that where you're playing at the Cardinals Stadium, at halftime during one of their games?
No, I never imagined that. All of a sudden, these people started texting my Instagram account, inviting me to these things, and I never thought that I would ever get to that level, especially for flag football, it being so new. Like, I had no idea that this was even possible. So it was a really great experience.
Addie, what about you? Hoping for experiences like that too, or what?
I mean, yeah, always. I hope I can, I don't know, keep playing after I leave high school. If not at college, then in like an intramural or something like that, because it's really a fun game.
And speaking of college now, Coach, we were talking about this before we went on the air, and there are quite a few colleges out there that are getting ready to field flag football teams in the NCAA.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and that's most of the reason why we're doing what we're doing here with this program, is to open doors for girls to go do extraordinary things and get into college and get scholarships. You know, we even had multiple offers to our team from last year, just from that one season. There's over 60 colleges and universities in the United States right now that have an active flag football team for their girls. And it's working through the process with the powers that be with the NCAA, and that gets voted on in January to be an official sport at all three levels, all divisions. So we're excited for that. We're excited for everybody to get an opportunity to go out and play. For Maggie to go on the field where Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes were just playing, for us to see her have the opportunity to do that. I remember getting a call from the Cardinals and said, hey, we want to talk to one of your players. And just to have more of those and more opportunities for these girls that get comfortable and compete and learn the game and then go on to play it at a higher level with the Olympics coming in 2028. You never know who's going to blossom. A lot of uncovered talent out there. So we're just excited to help all that happen for any girls that want to come out and have an opportunity. And for the community, come support us, come make noise. They love playing in front of people.
Yeah. And the other thing, speaking of flag football in college, I know last week I was up at Embry-Riddle for some of their volleyball matches and talking to their AD, Phil Hess. And Embry-Riddle, and I guess all of the NAIA, they're starting to look at fielding flag football teams. So it'd be pretty cool. If it comes to pass, it'd be pretty cool to have a college flag football team right here in everybody's hometown.
Wouldn't that be awesome? We've taken it to the next level. So, we've come a long way from that first conversation I had with Missy Townsend in fall of 2023, and here we are. We get 30-plus girls in the program with a JV team, and we got local colleges talking about, starting programs and loads of NAIA schools across the country. There's an old Coach Brown, that used to be here. He's at Lees McRae, out in South Carolina. And, it's just spreading across the country. And this local thing that we're doing to do our part to make it a national movement is just special. So we appreciate the opportunity.
And also, as the flag football season approaches here for Prescott, and, of course, Bradshaw Mountain and Mare and everyone else, I guess there are some... can I say this without being sarcastic? No, I can't. There are some new rule changes, and one of these rule changes that we're going to talk about, I don't know how this came about. Maybe there was like some meeting room and someone went, duh, I got a rule change we can do. Here it is. And then they lay it out, and all the other people in the room go, duh, that doesn't sound very smart. Let's do it anyway. So what is this new rule that I was so sarcastically talking about here, Coach?
So diplomatically, we engage in the process of a national rule book, right? And Arizona is no exception. We're one of the pioneers, one of the first top 10 states, I think, that ever started this game as a sanctioned high school sport. So now NFHS came through with a national rule book, which is nice, but we've adopted some changes. A lot of states in the country don't kick, for example, for field goals and stuff. But the rule you're talking about is they've taken kickoffs away from us. So I think that's a really integral part of a football game. We are going to try to get that changed for future seasons. But for now, we're going to start every possession that would otherwise start with a kickoff on our 14-yard line, 1st and 6. And the first downs are, for those of you that don't know out there, the first downs are at the 20, the 40, the 40, and the 20. So it'll be 1st and 6 from the 14, and we hope to get that changed at some point. But it's kind of interesting as an OC to plan for. You know what your down and distance is going to be to start right off the bat, almost like real football. Whereas before it could be, okay, it's either going to be 1st and 1 or anywhere between that and 1st and 19. So I don't know. It gives us some consistency, but it seems a little silly. I'm sure they have their reasons, but when you bring a lot of people in to cohesively affect something, there's going to be some silly things that don't make sense, but somebody did it for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, it's kind of like the way Hollywood makes movies today, where they get 40 people in a room, 30 of who have no idea how to tell a story, and you get the kind of movies we have here. But I'm rooting for you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hopefully you guys can make that change, get rid of that rule, and hopefully you have people there who can present their case a lot more diplomatically than I ever would.
Yeah, we like football.
Yes. All right. So, Maggie, again, we're less than 2 weeks away from the start of the season. Just tell us how much you are looking forward to year 2 of Prescott Flag football.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for months. We've been practicing so much. So it's just been a build up, and I just can't wait. We have a scrimmage on Tuesday next week, and I think that's just going to make me more excited. I just can't wait until our very first game, just start playing football.
And Addie, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit even more after that knee injury, and after last year's success you had, you're probably going, hey, I can't wait to get back out there again, huh?
Yeah, because coming from, I'm not, like, when I tore it, I was, like, not sure I was even going to come back and play. And then I was like, yeah, I'm coming back to play. And it's just so fun. And I can't wait. I'm, like, at practice right now. And I still have to be a little bit careful, but it's really fun. And it's great to see how aggressive we can become. And I'm just super excited for these games.
All right. And, folks, again, season opener for Prescott Flag football is going to be September 15th. That'll be down in Phoenix, a rematch of last year's state championship game, Prescott versus St. Mary's. You can catch the Badgers at Bill Shepherd Field on September 17th. They will be having their home opener against Tempe. They'll also be home September 22nd against Pinnacle. Also, mark this on your calendars, October 29th. Actually, it's going to be back-to-back Prescott versus Bradshaw on the football field. On October 29th, Prescott will host Bradshaw Mountain in flag football. And then, of course, on the 30th, it's going to be tackle football, Prescott versus Bradshaw Mountain. So a lot of things to look forward to there. We're coming up to the end of the show. Coach Hart, I want to thank you very much for joining us on the show. Maggie, Addie, thank you very much for being here. And best of luck to you guys in year 2 of Prescott Flag football.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.